Greetings. Welcome to Geek Talk, Giving Entrepreneurs Expert Knowledge podcast. My name is Sabrina Lowery, and I am known as the Tech Evangelist, and I will be your host. If this is your first time tuning in, let me welcome you. I would like to invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can catch all of the episodes from season one, and you can comment on any guest episodes that you may see. I can't wait to bring you into today's episode with our very special guest, Dr. Marqueta Abraham. She is a phenomenal woman who I met through the NASDAQ Entrepreneurial Center with our Milestone Circles program and the Mentor Makers program. So I am thrilled, super excited, very, very, very happy to bring her into the conversation. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Dr. Marqueta Abraham.
Hello.
Hey, Dr. Marqueta, let me read your bio for our audience and let everyone know a little bit about you. So, Dr. Marqueta Abraham is a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner. She has shown tremendous care and perseverance in the health field. She believes that patient care should be a provider's priority. Her specialization is the entire lifespan of mental health with a special focus on forensic and acute psychotic patients. In 2018, she was nominated as a healthcare hero with the Memphis Business Journal. In 2021, she received Inspire Award from the University of Tennessee at Martin. And in December of that year, she was interviewed by the Contraceptive Technology Update discussing sexually transmitted infections. Her resume, her credentials are lengthy. Her accolades are also extensive. I want to let you know she is the owner and sole psychiatric nurse practitioner at CLR Mind Psychiatry, located in the heart of Whitehaven, Memphis, Tennessee. She is also adjunct professor at Christian Brothers University and Missouri Baptist College. Dr. Abraham dedicates her life work to serving others. Welcome to Geek Talk, Dr. Abraham.
Thank you so much. And hey, everybody. And thank you, Miss Lowery, for everything.
Oh, absolutely. And we're going to start with calling me Sabrina, okay? We're going to remove all the formalities here. We are here for a casual conversation for our audience of entrepreneurs who are looking for your expert knowledge. So let's jump right into the conversation, shall we?
Yes.
I would love to. Okay, so first and foremost, Dr. Abraham, tell us about your journey into healthcare and psychiatric nursing.
So my journey actually started off at a really young age. For some reason, I always knew that I wanted to be a doctor, and I didn't know how it was going to happen or what route it was going to take, but I just knew it was going to happen. So I started off at the University of Tennessee. I received my bachelor's degrees. Then I also University of Tennessee again, my master's degree and some post doctoral degrees from there as well. And my doctoral degree actually came from Abilene Christian University, and my certification and post graduate degree as a psychiatric nurse practitioner from Union University. So, but it started off with me realizing while I was a ICU nurse at the VA, I had a niche. I found out that niche was actually talking to people, hearing them out, helping them through whatever it was that they were going through. And a lot of the veterans that I served, suffer from PTSD, anxiety, depression, and all of that took to me. My own father was also a veteran, and I listened to some of his stories when he was living and understood that some of those things could have been, the similar take that some of the other veterans that I met were going through PTSD, remembering the things that they experienced while they were stationed, at where they were stationed. But I can only speak for my father at this point. He was stationed in South Korea. So, and that was during a post Vietnam War. So that's a lot, And I realized you have a gift, hone in on that gift and share it with others. And that's the main thing that I always want to do is acknowledge the Lord and let him know I appreciate you giving me this and I want to keep pushing with it.
Oh, I love that. And I want to clip that for our audience. I want to remind our audience of entrepreneurs, whether you are an aspiring entrepreneur, you are a corporate executive, and you're leaning into your next act of life, mental health is real. Your wellness is the priority. And even as a leader, excuse me, you want to demonstrate that for others. And
Hmm.
so, Dr. Marqueta, let's talk about mental health across the lifespan because our audience of entrepreneurs start at the teens. We have some high schoolers who are entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs, all the way up to those that are ready to retire.
Right. So across the lifespan, it sort of applies to all of us. As entrepreneurs, we tend to work, work, work. Like it's nonstop all day long. You're answering emails, you're answering phone calls, you're taking care of your family, you're still going to school if you're in high school or in college. If you're, wanting to pursue a master's degree or doctoral degree, you're going to your graduate school plus working in the daytime plus, having your business there too that you have to tend to. So some of the things that I've noticed that we don't pay attention to is number one, our sleep. We are so guilty for not getting, an adequate night of sleep. And something that I know that we should think about with the sleep is not getting to the point of burnout, because a lack of sleep can lead to that. So you can still be productive, but you also need to take care of yourself. And so something that a second point that I like to make is making sure that we uh, keep a healthy diet going. At least drink your water at the least, or have some type of a protein bar that you want to take, or well, not take, but drink. I mean, eat, but and make sure that you get that nutrition in throughout the day because that really helps too.
Thank you for that reminder because I was needing a drink. So I want to take this opportunity, Dr. Marquita, to just again welcome everyone to Geek Talk with Sabrina Lowery and Friends. And tonight's episode is featuring Dr. Marqueta Abraham of CLR Mind Psychiatry out of Memphis, Tennessee. But she is a global entrepreneur. She is servicing mental health for all. And so let's segue and let's talk about patient centered care and
Mhm.
why providers must prioritize the patient. That would be you or me.
Right. Patients are always the center of the care, period. Um, once you, whatever business model that you're under, whether you're in healthcare, education, technology, the center of the whole thing is basically the consumer. And in essence, the patient is a consumer of your services that you're offering with your expertise. So when you focus on that, whether you're a business owner or whether you are in the field like I'm in, you can make sure like all of their needs are being met. You're actually listening to them, taking whatever advice that they have for you to make your services better, especially when it's dealing with customer service. And also making sure that each person feels like you're there with them.
Yeah.
not so far apart or far removed from where they are. Like, be there with them and be that person that they need at that moment.
Yeah, that's important. And I want to clip that for our entrepreneurs because here's something that I heard you say. When the practitioner prioritizes their patient, it truly gives that sense of care. And
Hmm.
it also lets them know that you are being heard. Because what I tend to hear more often than not is, I had to get a second opinion because I was not being heard or I was not allowed to voice what I wanted, and so on and so forth. Do you find
Hmm.
that to be true as well?
Right, I do. I do find that to be true. It's moments where, sometimes people just want to be seen. They want to be heard. They want to feel like they're a part of whatever society is offering. But if you become the type of leader that doesn't, I would say, hone in on your servant skills,
Mhm,
the person won't feel those things.
mhm.
So it's all about, you have that certain type of authority, but how are you using that authority? Like, is it for positive things or is it just a self-serve? So it's really up to the individual on how they want to move forward with that, but we all know what the right thing is to do.
That's good. That's good. So I want to segue now. Instead of that individualized patient care, how
Mhm.
about the community based mental health care for the entire community of entrepreneurs, small business owners? And Dr. Marquita, while you're talking about that, please highlight the ways that your practice supports entrepreneurs with their mental health.
So that's my jam. I love doing community work and offering like different things. So my favorite thing to do as an entrepreneur is to have talks where I can just hear people out, other entrepreneurs talk to each other, or either I'm presenting something about mental health and what steps we need to look for to pay attention to and see if those things are going on with us. And something that comes to mind is like checking out how really is our mood. Are we anxious about anything? Are we getting a little depressed about anything, and what those things are and how we can navigate through that as a group. Community health fairs are also my favorite thing to do because I always get a chance to meet other entrepreneurs who may have questions or may have expertise that I need as well, and we can go back and forth on how to make things happen for our business and keep it scaling, basically. So one of the things that I do want to say, as an entrepreneur and thinking about those community things, I wouldn't say overexert yourself with those things if you start to do the same thing, but make realistic goals and realistic expectations for yourself so that you're able to do like extra community work as well. Because it may not be for everyone, but there is some small role or a big role that you can play in others' lives in whatever area that you're serving.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Yes, absolutely. And I want to make sure that our audience of entrepreneurs understands whether you're in Tennessee or in your Atlanta metro,
Hmm.
like where we are, it doesn't matter. There are community resources, there
Hmm.
are healthcare practitioners that do virtual medical providing services. So
Absolutely.
I want you to speak to that because licensure matters when it comes to healthcare. So, can you talk about where do you practice and how can they reach you and what services can you accommodate for those that are outside of your jurisdiction?
Yeah, so right now I am licensed in the state of Tennessee, and I'm also licensed in the state of Arkansas and working on a licensure for Oklahoma. So the ration and the state of Minnesota. But the rationale behind that, I can give you a little health policy at this point. It's one of the classes that I teach at Christian Brothers. But the state of Tennessee does not offer currently a full practice authority for nurse practitioners. So in the state of Tennessee, you have to have a collaborator. So it makes things a little bit difficult at times because sometimes financials come into play with that, and in finding a collaborator, and some of them are, pretty expensive in my opinion. But however, I do serve the state of Tennessee as well as the state of Arkansas, Minnesota, and coming up Oklahoma. So if a client is in one of those states, I will be able to provide services from them. So those services will look like, if they're not able to come in person, they look like a telehealth visit. So it would be us virtually talking for about an hour, getting down the logistics of like history, what's really been going on with you, like what areas do you see yourself wanting to hone in on, whether it's with me starting a medication, but I also, hear to see or listen to see if there is a diagnosis there for the medication. So it'll be an hour or so of a visit virtually for us to really talk. However, if it's anyone in the state of Georgia, I do know a lot of providers in the state of Georgia that you could go to. However, if you decided to come to me, you would have to be in the state of Tennessee or one of the other states that I mentioned.
Okay, I love that. And thank you for that clarification, because I want those that are a part of your geographic area, and also those that you will be serving in the
Mhm.
future. So with that being said, I'm sure there's some type of a monthly newsletter, a subscription, a website, an email address. What is the best point of contact, or even a social media handle for our audience to contact you? Because here's what I do know to be true:
Yes.
there are never going to be professional services handled over email, text, or social media. Those private messages, however, can be an initial point of contact. So,
Right.
talk to our audience about what is your preferred method and how they should connect with you.
Yeah, my preferred method is actually a phone call. Call me. But the office number is 901-878-9147. But also another way for contact, or if you want to check me out online, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook is CLR Mind Psychiatry. And there I have videos about different disorders that I explain, and also different medications that I explain about the side effects and which ones would be helpful for which disorder. So that's always really helpful. And I also do something called mental health walks. So we go on a walk somewhere around Memphis together for a minute, just so you can just say whatever you want to that screen. I can't hear you, no one else can hear you, but you got it out, and we did it together.
Oh, I love
So
that.
mhm.
I love that. I love that. So I want you now, because we're talking about building your clear mind psychiatry in Whitehaven in the Memphis, Tennessee area, talk about the mental health education for teenagers and families.
So for teenagers and families, it's important because sometimes teenagers go through their moments of maturing, and sometimes that's pretty difficult for certain parents, when they are becoming more independent, more vocal about what it is their needs really are. But that's where families can seriously come together and hear each other out, basically. I mean, your child is, growing into a mature adult that you have raised them to be, and that's a wonderful thing to watch and see. And and in turn, there are children who are now adults who are taking care of their elderly parents. So that's another caveat. I think that can sometimes be difficult for people as well, and watching their parents age, and and go through different disorders or diseases and diagnoses that they're not really used to taking care of. But that's where the community comes in at play. In some areas, I can't speak for Memphis and maybe some other areas as well, but there are groups that you can attend, like caregiving groups. A lot of cities have teenage groups that teenagers can do to learn about social skills and also being an entrepreneur for that matter. I think it's one here in the city of Memphis that places children in different areas, so that's really nice. And also fraternities and sororities do similar programs as well, and as well as some nonprofits. So whatever is in your city would be key to take a Google search and see how it can fit into your family.
I love that. Dr. Marquita, this is all so helpful. And I am doing those things which makes me feel like I'm on the right track with my mental health,
Right.
because there is something that I was told. Our health is our wealth. And beyond 50, for some of us in our audience, there's a different level of energy, and there is certain things that are happening and changing within our bodies and within our health. And you also mentioned that caregivers need care too. So let's
Hmm.
clip that. All right. Let's segue into our final portion, which talks about healthcare leadership, shared governance, and interprofessional care. Dr. Marquita, talk to our audience about that, please.
So when you speak of shared governance, that's it's something that's pretty much hospital based, that can be honed in on a inpatient level. But I want to talk about those interpersonal relationships that we have and tie that in with entrepreneurship. So, one thing that's important to remember is that you don't have to do everything alone as an entrepreneur. There is so much help out there. You just have to ask, you have to say it. You have to be upfront on what it is that you need and how that person can actually help you. And don't get discouraged if that person can't do it, or if they don't return a phone call, or if they don't return the email. That's when pivots happen. And there are a lot of pivots that we do as entrepreneurs. So I want to say some examples. So just for instance, with owning a psychiatric practice, there are many spaces that can use my services. However, there are other spaces that I need that can help the practice grow. So one of the things were the NASDAQ uh, cohort that was this summer, and what that helped me do is hone in on how I can get funding to do certain things that I want to do in the future. So now that I've learned those things, some key things that I learned were: make sure you have an accountant, make sure you have an attorney, and also a local banker. I'm not talking about a big bank, but a local bank that you can actually go in, get to know the people, because there could be certain programs that you can do with your business to help it grow. And as an entrepreneur, I think we sometimes forget that we're not in it alone, and it shouldn't be, us feeling like, oh gosh, I'm alone. But there are so many programs out there that you can find your tribe and find the people that you need to help push you to keep going.
Yeah. I love that. And our audience needs to be reminded of that. So,
Hmm.
this is our opportunity to talk about our influence over our family, over our communities, and how faith and perseverance collide with that intersection of purpose. Will you
Hmm.
talk to our entrepreneurs about how you're able to resonate with that?
Yeah, I totally hone in on my faith quite a bit. I'm a member of one of the largest churches in the area here in our area, and that's Brown Baptist with Pastor Bartholomew Orr, and I'm currently serving as the health ministry chair for the church as well. So that's a huge role, along with the role I have as a business owner and as a provider, because those are really big, because I'm looking after people, and I also make sure that I would say, I don't want to use balance, but I try to keep my schedule my time in a way that makes sense for the week and the days, because sometimes we can really, overdo it.
Yeah.
But 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 that's where that piece of self-care should come in at.
Yeah.
And it's important because it'll help you grow your business, but also help you grow as a person, like interpersonal type things. So if you apply that to your regular routine, I think that you would be able to pretty much get through a lot of things throughout the day, but you just have to stay consistent.
Okay. So
Mhm.
that's a perfect segue. We're going to clip that portion, which led me into something that I wrote in one of my books, Ladies in Tech, Volume 1, Sharing Expertise for a Successful Career. So here
Mhm.
comes Mentor Sabrina. Y'all listen to what the Tech Evangelist wrote. Okay. In my chapter, this is Volume 1, titled
Mhm.
Unbalanced, Untethered, and Unbothered, my framework for work life balance. And so I want you to know that you must replace the word balance with the word prioritize, because there is no balance. You're
Mm-mm.
never able to juggle with all the balls at an equal level. At
Right.
some point, one ball is higher in priority than the other as you continue to add all of the things that you're trying to manage. Does that make virtual visual sense, audience? I hope y'all are picking up what I'm
Absolutely.
putting down, right? And so I further go into, when you are wearing many hats, you
Mhm.
must focus the priorities of personal and professional relationships based on responsibility. So,
Mhm.
if this is a money making activity for me, my family knows where the priority lies. But if this is I'm just wanting to travel with a girls' trip and it is personal on my dime, then that priority is going to fall much lower than some of the other family, community,
Mhm.
life priorities. So, can you speak to that and how that framework would sit with you and your clients?
So that framework fits with me as a entrepreneur, because you're right. You have to prioritize certain things. For instance, now, would it make sense for me to do an interview like I'm doing now, knowing that I have to see a patient like at the same time? That don't match. The patient is my priority. So, and they will always be my priority. And once you keep navigating the entrepreneur space, you will realize that what you're creating is almost childlike. Someone explained to me, it's something that you're creating, something that you've started, and they essentially, this person said that it's your baby, like you're you're nurturing something that you want to see flourish, and it's going to happen, because otherwise, I always tell people, you won't have that vision if it wasn't supposed to be there in the first place. So it's going to work out. So you have to go through those ebbs and flows, got to go through all those no's and yeses, and keep pivoting into what like, nah, I know this gonna work out, so I'm gonna do it this way. So that's where all of that prioritization comes in at, and that's also where the pivoting comes in at, and that's where you can also start believing in yourself more as an entrepreneur and keep pushing forward,
Yeah.
because it's gonna work out.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so I think that it's giveaway time, because I've been talking about volume 1 of my Ladies in Tech, Sharing Expertise for a Successful Career book
Mhm.
on the past few episodes. And so it's giveaway time, everyone. Yours truly, Sabrina Lowery, one of the best selling authors in this anthology series. This was volume 1 under our visionary author, Dr. Kenyatta Powers Rucker. Shout out to the ladies in tech community because I'm going to give away a copy of this book. I believe that there is an entrepreneur that needs this framework so that they can prioritize instead of trying to balance things where there is no balance. So I want them to think about my key highlights in the chapter.
Mhm.
The unbalanced, I'm telling you, it's never balanced. So you prioritize. The next section was the untethered. That means disconnect, prioritize your self care. And then the last is unbothered. And the unbothered is where your faith and your perseverance meets your purpose. And that's when you get paid.
Right. That is right.
Yes. So let's close us out and tell our audience, what does it mean to you to dedicate your life's work to serving others?
It gives me a true sense of purpose. I think that once we're here on earth and we wonder, like, why am I here? And we are here because we have a purpose, we have a plan that we're supposed to complete on this journey that we're on. And I'm always so excited each day to see what is next. Like, how can I make an impact today? Even if it isn't an impact every day, it is something there that just my mother always say there's one key word that somebody will say to you and in any interaction that can make an impact for them or you or vice versa. So it's a true purpose and I feel it, I see it, and I'm just glad to be in it.
Oh, I love it. Here we come. Here we come. I was writing comments. I'm making sure that everyone that is tuning in knows about the free giveaway. So, what I would like to do is the first person to download this episode, episode 3, okay, of the podcast,
Mhm.
will get a copy of the book. And so, what you got to do is take a screenshot and then email that to helpdesk at sabrinalowery.com. I think if you take a little action, you will be able to win yourself a copy of this bestseller. So let's go ahead and put that out there. Get that comment out to the people. Let them know the giveaway is there. And I did misspell something. Y'all forgive my fat finger. I'll fix it on the comments later. But I want you all to know that we are here with Dr. Marqueta on the Geek Talk with Sabrina Lowery and Friends podcast. It has been my pleasure. Absolutely my pleasure.
Mine
Just
too.
talking to you,
It's
learning
been
more about
great.
you.
Yeah, it's been great. I don't know if I was too serious or not. I get in my mode.
No, let me tell you one thing about having a podcast in the evening is that our audience knows there's always going to be a little bit of that, which is
Mhm.
the nuggets, right? We are here
Right,
to give them our expertise. So if
right.
it rubs somebody a little bit touch a go, that's the good thing. That means there's
Hmm.
growth, there's an open mind, there's transformation happening.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
that flourishing is happening.
Yes, that's what we want. Hey, and that helps the mental health too. So I'm here to stimulate your mind, y'all. So make sure you come on back next week. Oh my goodness, Dr. Marqueta, I can't wait to tell my audience about what we have coming up. So, everybody, let me give you, we are entering the month of September, and I have a phenomenal lineup for you all. So, check this out. Let me share my screen, Dr. Marqueta. We got our
Yes, let's see
lineup.
this.
So, we are going to bring on the month of September. Here we go. All right, up next Monday, McKinney Williams, one of my ladies in tech co-authors, she will be on the show. And then on episode 5, I need y'all to come on and hear Sharon Tassman. She is phenomenal, and she is going to give us all those legal strategies that we need to protect our business and our investments. And
Mhm.
then y'all know my girl Tara Seals, the bossy educator, is gonna rock the mic with us on September 21st for episode 6. And then we're gonna close out the month with another one of our NASDAQ Entrepreneurial Center Milestone Circle members. Rakita Lillard Brown. And so I want you all to be sure that you are tuning in every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And now let me break it on down because I got some more guests for y'all. We got the month of October booked, y'all.
Yes.
Let me go ahead and let the people know they lining up, kicking my door down. Like, let me in, coach, let me in. And I love it because that is my community work, is sharing my entrepreneurial knowledge and these experts. Okay, check out this lineup, y'all. You don't want to miss the first episode in October featuring the phenomenal Lisa Madewell. She is going to come and give us those storytelling tips, those media preparation tips to get you ready for the camera and rocking the mic like I do every week. And then come on back for episode 9. That's going to be on the October 12th, featuring Roxanne Smithers, another lawyer hitting the building. Okay, let's get Smithers Law Group their flowers because that is my legal representation right there. And then we're going to go with another one of our ladies in tech co-authors, Dr. Maria Thorpe. She is going to come and bring all that STEM leadership information to the podcast. And then we're going to close out the month of October, episode 11, featuring none other than the legendary Dora Rankin. Y'all come on back every Monday night at 7:30 with your juice, your beverage of choice, like Dr. Marqueta said, your water. Let's
Your
stay
water,
hydrated, my
yes.
friend.
Absolutely. We
What
got
do you think
to.
about that lineup?
That lineup sounds wonderful. It's going to be so much knowledge poured into us, and especially with having tech people, somebody from the law side, which is truly important. You can't have no LLC or no corporation without having a lawyer on your side,
That's
you
what I'm
know.
trying to tell the people. And again, as part of my community service, I have that concierge of these experts that I'm bringing to the podcast. So if you're thinking, oh, I know Sabrina's got a such and such for such and such. Yes, I do. And so that's why you got to go and check out season 1 because that playlist is fire too. And don't forget the Women on the Move Summit coming up in September. Dr. Marqueta, you might want to come to ATL for that one, sis. Go and check out season 2, episode 1, featuring Dr. Kim McNair. Follow her YouTube and her Facebook and get all the information because it's going to be at the Microsoft in Atlanta and it's going to be something you don't want to miss, especially at the level that you're at and for
Yes,
the
ma'am.
things that you are doing. So I want y'all to go to I believe it's the Kim McNairProductions.com, and then
Uh-huh.
you'll be able to get all the information there. And I'll post it after this episode in the comments. Yes, yes.
Yes.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Miss Rachel Watts. Oh, my goodness. Tawana, how are you, darling? Thank you for tuning in to Geek Talk. We are here
Hey,
giving
Mr. Warner.
entrepreneurs expert knowledge. And so, Dr. Marqueta, let me tell you about this lady right here. She is our community leader in the ministry at the entrepreneurship at my church. And so I
Ah,
want to give shout out to our Turner Chapel family here in Marietta, Georgia. I appreciate you
yes.
for tuning in. Be sure to share the podcast. Tell the people that we are doing big things here and we want them to come on the podcast and share their expertise. Yes?
Absolutely, yes.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much again. I really, really enjoyed our conversation. I know our entrepreneurs and our audience picked up a few nuggets. And
Mhm.
if you happen to go back and see the replay and you see any comments from our audience, we do check in and we comment back. so we will reply if you have any questions or concerns for our guests. Dr. Marqueta, tell the people one more time how to connect with you and find you online.
You can find me online through TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook at CLR Mind Psychiatry. And also, my website is clrmindpsychiatry.com. And it also has all of the fax information, phone numbers, and emails.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Again, there's that October lineup, y'all. I can't wait for y'all to have. I'm just telling you, this is going to be an amazing season too.
Absolutely, it is.
Yes,
We got
yes,
some heavy hitters on that list.
absolutely. Rightfully so. My audience is deserving, right?
Right.
Yes. Dr. Marqueta, thank you. We are going to check out and be sure that our audience is able to get their podcast downloaded on their favorite podcast platform. That could be iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, YouTube, where you can get all the clips and the captions and things. And guess what? On Spotify, you can download the audio or watch the video. It's so dope, y'all. I love having a global audience. Check out Podbean. That's my newest platform. We're going global and we're taking this message to the streets. Thank you so much again for being here. I want everyone to remember we are here giving entrepreneurs expert knowledge. Until next time, good night.
Good night, y'all.